We are live now.
Yeah.
So, welcome to The Infinite You Craft Your Growth Story, a podcast by Vishali Barbare, that's me. And this podcast is created to understand the journey, growth journey of storytellers, authors, or people from different fields. Because I strongly believe that a person has infinite capacity to achieve whatever they want. In spite of those life situations, we are capable of achieving whatever we set mind to. And in this series, the second session today is my dear friend Neena Girish. Hi
Thank,
Neena.
I am Vishali, and thank you so much for this opportunity. This is something everybody will look forward to know about one another's journey.
And I also believe, Neena, that even if we are working together with so many people, we are living together sometimes, with your family, with your friends, but there are so many aspects that we don't know about each other,
Yeah.
which are very key aspects of what the person needs today.
Hmm.
And I this is an effort to understand those aspects which are in undiscovered by us,
Yeah.
and whatever has shaped you as Neena, as an entrepreneur or storyteller, or as a person. So, Neena, can you just tell us your growth story or your journey till now, how you are doing what you are doing today?
Yeah. So, to mention about my journey, a little girl who wanted to become either an IAS officer or a advocate, but many times what we think doesn't work on this. There is something already destined for you. So I became a librarian by chance. Uh, though I was an avid reader, I used to read a lot as a student. I remember carrying four books from the school library, then from British Constable, wherever I could, I like that. So after that helped me when I became a librarian to focus on what exactly a child will look on. And I was blessed to be with this primary children. So I had the opportunity to work from LKG till sixth standard students. So the school that I joined in Delhi, St. Paul's School, Hoskas, that was my first time as an academic librarian. And see, when you join as a newcomer, there are inhibitions. How you would, help children, basically for these youngsters. So somewhere, me as a reader from my childhood, the way my librarian helped me, that was there in my mind. And as a parent, also I found that it's not that library shouldn't be just a place where you have only this concept of silence and then just give books. Like most of the thing, library में क्या ही होता है, मतलब books देना है, कहानियां सुनना और कुछ नहीं. So I wanted to change that. And yes, with the support of my school principal and my co-work colleagues, and also the parents, I'll say they played an important role in that. And my students who were there right from an early age, as if they were learning the alphabet the same way they were learning step by step the reading process. We just not only read books, we discussed, we made, you won't believe, class 1 to 5 coming out and remaking puppets, and on the spot you give them a topic, they'll create stories. So in a group, not prepared, unprepared, so impromptu they used to do. And still now I have not deleted a single work they have done from my drive. So that helped me to focus on thinking like, yes, okay, reading plays an important role, and along with reading, writing also has to go through. So that way, by chance, I became a librarian and storyteller during that process. And also, uh, what do you say, there was a time when I felt that there was a shift was required. So after 14 years serving as a school librarian, and to some extent, I was happy the way I could bring out my children. I'm so happy when I see the results today, 10th and 12th, those children, because 6 long years they were with me, and I was able to contribute. And even after that, if anytime they are connected, I am able to help them. So happy to see the way they are growing, shaping today. I think each one of us as an individual, be a teacher or anyone, we have our own, what you call, boond boond se sagar banta. So same way we have our own capabilities that we can teach our youngsters to become a better person. And BRS came during 2022. So till November 11th, 2022, I worked there. I took BRS. And the next journey, the first step was to do storytelling session at Kendriya Vidyalaya Pattam. That happened to be my alma mater. And there began the storyteller's journey as profession, as which was personally somewhere inclined in my mind that, okay, this is what I have to do. And another plus thing was I had this opportunity to be with special needs children during my profession in the school. So that was somewhere deep rooted in me that the more I understood, I thought I have to explore more. So that thought was there in my mind that whenever in my life I want to do something on my own, I'll do for these children, these caregivers. And as destined, I was connected with Spectrum, the awareness project. And there I began, storytelling as part of Storytellers Hub. So one being one among the founding members of Storytellers Hub, till date we have, I think, more than 50 plus uh, storytellers. So this is the journey that I traveled from, the transition from a librarian to a storyteller. And for me, one thing is, it's not about your experience or age. That should never stop you from doing what you want to. So it's just a new beginning. So if you have something, a goal that this is what I want to do, I think you can achieve whatever comes in your. So that was a journey that I wanted to discuss.
Yes, it's a fabulous journey, Neena. I think everybody has a path to follow during life, and uh, whenever you are stuck in a place, that is the moment you understand now that we need to grow.
Yeah.
So I think we need to understand that if we feel stuck somewhere, or if we feel saturated, if we feel that this place is not for me, that
Ah.
means that's a signal that you should
Yeah.
move out and set on to the next journey, which is
Yeah.
the growth path. And I think you have done it really beautifully. And I really I don't know, admire you for this side of your librarian, being a
Mm.
librarian, because see, most of the Indian schools, uh, they don't have a trained librarian. Maybe they have the qualification, but they lack the opportunity or maybe the training to make that library space a
Yeah.
creative hub. And
Mm.
forget about a librarian, they don't have proper libraries also in
Yes.
most of the
Yes.
schools.
Yes.
So I think this particular aspect, of a librarian being a librarian teacher,
Mm.
or a librarian expanding her, maybe whatever your work profile is, and
Yes.
to give something to children apart from whatever is prescribed as in your job profile. And I
Yeah.
think that is what makes you really different, because you contributed to even children's creative journey
Yes.
through library, through books, through stories. And after that, of course, you are doing a fantastic job as a storyteller as well. I have been a part of couple of your sessions in Spectrum and Storytellers Hub, and you are, that's a wonderful thing that you all are doing in that inclusion and neurodiversity space.
Yeah.
Uh, and I can see the difference that stories can make,
True. That's true.
subtly.
Yeah.
So I have witnessed last month you were there at the Denlit Fest,
Yeah.
and I could see how you teach children to explore stories, to create their own stories. And those were the children of who have suffered some trauma in their life,
Yeah.
and something was broken within. And when
Yes.
you told them to create stories, they
Yeah.
came up in front of
Yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
told those stories,
Yeah.
and we could see the reflection of their lives in their stories,
True.
and we could see that healing happening visibly.
Yes.
And I think that is something fantastic that you are doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and I also feel that whenever you are giving to children, or we are teaching something, we are
Mm.
also learning. So we
True.
also, as a person or a professional, we grow
Yes, yes,
during these sessions.
yes, yes. So,
Yes.
what I wanted to
As
say is, yeah, please.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to ask you. Are there any moments you think that yes, this is where my growth happened?
Yes, yeah.
Any instances like this?
Yes. So, as I told you, the silent zone, as library was described. So there were times, when well, people were like, substitution है, कर लो, क्या problem है, काम क्या है तुम्हारा? So that particular moment, I thought, yeah, see, everybody has their own job to do. Teachers have lots to do from there. In the same way, the others. So stock checking is there, which is an yearly thing that you have to do all alone. So many things are there. And then I thought, okay, fine, because there was nothing recorded.
Mm.
Like, you're giving books, you're taking back, you're doing activities. So the first thing we started with scrapbooks, and gradually it was during COVID that we took on to online classes, and where the parents were also involved, because being primary children, there were certain age groups where the presence of parents were required. So through online platforms, from scrapbook, we shifted to Wakelet, Padlet, using, the activities were visible. Then I created a blog, a library blog, school library blog, which was accessible for parents as well as a school to know exactly what we were doing each
Mm.
week, each day. So that was one thing that helped me. Technical, the use of technology, that I was not, I was like, doing automation and library automation and other things. But this much of advanced technology, that was one thing that helped me as a librarian to think out of the box and use technology.
Mm.
And the parents' support was there. And another thing, when you talk about storytelling, creation, and all, so me as a student was never, you know, like I speak now, I was very inhibited to come out and speak. So for me, if you ask singing or dancing, I am there. But if it was a speech, I was never there. But these moments gave me more confidence of the way I was.
Mm.
So I became a voracious speaker, talkative,
Lovely.
and then yeah, and then I could imbibe this feeling among parents that a school library is actually a foundation, a stepping stone towards their
Yes.
child's reading and writing thing, other than the subjects that they study. And also, library, for me, if you ask me, library should never be a silent zone, because school library, especially. And moreover, there is a concept that why primary children should be taken to the library. So there also, I thought the other way around, because when you teach a kindergarten child the slanting lines and other, that's when they learn the alphabets, words, sentences. It's the same with books. A class 6 student, when directly comes to the library, won't be able to read, won't sit. It's a
True, true, true.
so from basics. In first class, they will go through the books, they'll see the pictures, they'll make noise, they may rotate the book in play, they'll do so many things. But next time when you tell them, okay, fine, you have observed everything, what is after a week, you give them time to settle, and then say, okay, now let's hunt, bird hunt, and all. So then they start reading, they start
Correct.
writing, and from
Correct.
there, their interest grows. So this was one growth as a person, as a library. Even I was happy that I was also growing with them, because see, somewhere when you join as a profession, times me being an avid reader started going down, because there was no time going
Yeah, true,
purchasing.
happens,
Yeah,
yes.
purchasing books from book fair, then coming, all doing all those, labeling them, and then entering so many things. So in that, you forget that you have to read some book. There are something kept in your bag, but you don't. But with these children, I was also reading different genres of books, from the primary, from picture books to word books. So that was one thing where I was also reliving my childhood, and the connect with parents, the ones who, during PTMs felt that, okay, uh, library mein kya jana hai? We have to meet the teachers, we don't have. But then the same parents, when they came back to say, ma'am, we learned a lot, and COVID realized
Mm.
everyone that libraries beyond stories and issue written. It's more that one can explore. It's about, actually, it's a storehouse of information connecting different subjects and languages. So that was
So,
one growth. Another thing was reading Olympiad was conducted by GetLib, and my students were like the first timers using online digital platform. And from class 2 to 8 we had from second position till 70th position, 8 of them coming to that level. And that was one big achievement that our school and our students achieved. And for me also it was a turning point, because of which even I received an award for being the most motivating librarian. So, and then another thing that taught me to grow as an individual was never be in a toxic situation. When you feel there is something toxic happening, there is a limit that you can see. Health issues everybody goes through, but I think just because of health issues, we shouldn't give up. We have options to move forward. Maybe when we do something else, we forget what we are going through physically, right? And that keeps motivating. In the same way, these toxic situations were such that yeah, there was a phase when I felt that I should give up. I can't, go further. But then there was your family and your parents telling that no, this is the time when you should, you know, prove that okay. So proving is okay, but every time you need to prove
you
who you
cannot.
are is not okay. So then I thought, okay, when you have set a boundary, you've reached your goal, and you've made it clear that this is what you do, and whatever is being talked behind is not the person uh, who you are. So once that is done, you can move out from there, and there are many things you can do on your own. So that's how I thought, okay, whatever based on my experience, I can use it. See, we have set of children in school, but when we do it outside for a society, I think we have more. Everybody is there and lots to do. So I'm just looking forward that I do more. I with everybody's support and blessings, whatever possible, I wanted to do. So these
Lovely,
are some
lovely.
of the achievements that I wanted to talk about.
Lovely. I think, and those are really, sometimes achievements come in qualitative way. You cannot put number to it,
Yes,
right? And that changes you as a person, that transform you as a person.
yes,
And you rightly said, the moment that you need to prove yourself time and again is the moment when you need to leave that place.
mm,
So
true.
I think that is where growth is happening,
Yes,
and that is how Neena, the librarian, became the Neena auntie, storyteller auntie,
yes,
right?
yes.
Tell me about your storytelling brand, the Little Storytellers Anchor.
Yes. So, Little Storytellers actually was a name given to the podcast that I started during
Hmm.
COVID. So, the students and parents were equally enthusiastic to be part of it, and they've done a great job. Even now, if somebody listens to my podcast, it's those students and their parents'
Hmm.
stories. I get that, how many times that has been
Notification.
heard. Yeah. So, then after school, now, when I came into storytelling, I got little storytellers registered under Udyan, so that it is there on Align.
Hmm.
Uh, there are many more things that I need to do. So for the aim was when I was shifting to my hometown Kerala, I thought that I start something where I can work on uh, enhancing the reading culture along
Hmm.
with the writing part, right? So what based on the experience that I learned, and I also will come through. So maybe I couldn't explore more there. So the place where I live. So I started off with few schools. Then now in Bangalore, where I am, I have an opportunity, and I should thank Naval Base Kochi School. That was my first training session that I did for the teachers there. Uh, One, they gave me an offline opportunity on storytelling pedagogy, and then next time they asked me to do an online for 25 teachers all across their, you know, the first one was live with the 17 teachers from different parts of Navy School in Cochin, and
Hmm.
we online. And then they seeing the distance, they asked me to do an offline because the teachers were also online. They were preferred online. So there were 25 teachers, and it was about storytelling pedagogy and use of Jadui Pitara.
Wow.
So, yeah, so that was an first thing that opportunity that I came. Then there were many other training programs, like there was Chellappan Vidya Mandir in Chennai, where my own economics teacher, who was assistant commissioner in KV South Bangalore, she retired, and then she was principal there. So she just asked me, "Will you do a session?" So I did an online session. She was so happy. And then even now recently, like Dayanand Sagar, last week I
Yeah.
did. So there also, it's about storytelling. It's about inclusive classroom. How you can create an inclusive classroom, and then all these confidence came because not just me as an individual was learning, and then I had Spectrum, then Kathashtakam. Within a year, I joined Kathashtakam. The vibe that I saw there, the storytellers, we learn from each other. Like, I may do something, you may do something, but at the end, we are learning from one another, sharing and learning. And that is when the growth happens really. Like, if we keep it to ourselves, that this is mine, I'm not going to give it to others, then there is no growth happening. And I learned a lot from after joining Spectrum. I learned about the special need children, the
True.
caregivers, what they're going through, life lived experiences. And thereon, from Katashtakam, all wonderful storytellers, different genres, everybody's style is different. So these things really help me and is really helping me to think, okay, this can also be done. And at the same time, you can think about it this way. So the angle of looking at things has
True.
changed for me.
Your
So,
perspective
yes,
changes.
the folk, yes. Instead of this keeping this way,
Of
now
course.
I feel that you have a wide road open to you, and the
Yeah.
exploration is going on. So I feel that I wish in future, like we all as a team are growing as a uh, community. See, in library science, there is a law by S.R. Ranganathan, five laws. There's a library is a growing organism.
Yes.
So I would say storytelling and the storytelling community is also a growing organism where we can transform different lives. We can create changes. And
Yeah.
yeah, looking forward to that one as my future plan. And another thing, as I mentioned, I would definitely love to, it's a promise that I've been giving, that I want to develop an app especially for the special
Oh,
children.
wow.
So looking, a software that will help them to understand any kind of special needs children. So that's there in my priority pipeline. Uh, so these are the things I want to do in my future.
Wonderful, wonderful, Neena. I'm so inspired by your journey that you were in a school setup as an educator, teacher, librarian, and then you moved on to become a storyteller, registered your brand, and now you are you're a teacher trainer now, and I think it's a fabulous journey, and I think. There are no bounds to this, you can just explore your potential and
Yes,
capabilities and keep on growing. There is no limit to it.
yes,
And your contribution in Kathashtakam, of course, it's a very valuable contribution. Neena is a part of a L&D team which organizes the Skill Connect webinars, right?
yeah,
So you are on the organizing team of Kathashtakam also. So I
yes,
think that is also something that I can see growth, because 2 years, 3 years back when you joined Kathashtakam,
yeah,
you were just, you are exploring storytelling
yes,
through Kathashtakam, through Spectrum. But now you are on the organizing team, and I think that is, that itself speaks volumes of your growth, because telling a story online, offline is one thing, and getting into the strategic planning part or organizing part, leadership role, is something that requires different skill set altogether. So
I think,
I think
Vishali, on that, I would say that it's like, you need to get people like you. For me, for you, Shivali, you both are like, as a team, you take your everybody as a team, as one part of your group without being judgmental. Because I remember the first time when I joined Enlit Fest, I was just a beginner as a storyteller. So, the moment I requested, like, we wanted to join, you never said that we'll see later. See, uh, why I'm saying this, it's very important because many times we know so many of us when being in a profession. And I, as a after leaving my profession, I tried to contact several them looking for opportunities, but the response was that first, you know, to say or prove who you are. So which I never got from Kathashtakam or from Spectrum, because there was no judgment. It was like, come, do do what you can, and that is something that this is for all those who are looking into this field for storytelling or starting a new profession. So look for people who will welcome you with open heart without judging.
I think
So
that is
thanks.
that is it goes both ways, because when you joined, even Kathashtakam was at a say toddler stage, and I think as a community we all grow together.
Yes.
So it is not, and yesterday only, day before yesterday, I had a meet of Kathashtakam in Delhi, and that is what
Yeah.
the thought came into my mind, that this is what we are in Kathashtakam. Though it is not a Kathashtakam podcast, but Kathashtakam is a part of me, so I cannot just go do away
True.
without
True.
with talking about it.
True.
So basically, that is the thought, that in Kathashtakam everybody has a space on the table. So if you're no, just a beginner, or if you are an accomplished storyteller, everybody has something, I think, to offer as well as to gain. So this
Yeah.
is how the vibe of Kathashtakam is being maintained by everybody, and everybody is contributing, everybody is learning and
True.
growing.
Yeah.
And that is how the idea of infinitude came into my mind, because of all of you who I'm seeing as a, growing in your path, as well as
Huh.
my own community, as me as a person, me as a professional, growing along with you.
Huh.
So that is why I thought, why not have Neena, Deepa, my own friends, my own community members coming in and sharing their growth journey. So
Thank you
thank you,
so much.
Neena. Thank you. It was a lovely interview, and I learned
Same.
so many things that I didn't know actually. In spite of being a so a good friend of yours, all the best, and I really hope that this little storytelling anchor and your storytelling journey as a storypreneur, I call it, goes a long way and definitely will make your mark in your
Thank
own
you.
field.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Neena.